is Alan, and on behalf of Wistancia, my co-host, and the
Hi.
crew of the show, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. Tonight should be, again, quite a show. I say that every week, so but we really try to put together a show, and tonight I think we really have put together a really amazing show. I mean, we have some, I would say, sublime pictures that our guest Sue Halstenberg has painted and has done in pastels, and just very beautiful, inspiring works. And then we have, I would say, just raw and primal music with didjeridoos and incredible music by the music group Inlakesh, which is made up of Tanya Gerard and Rob Thomas. So they're going to be with us tonight. So we have some incredible art. Hopefully we'll have some incredible talking to the artists and some incredible music. So please stay with us. I think you'll have a really an incredible experience. So as we usually do at this time, to set the tone for the show, we have a short invocation and a meditation with Wistancia. So Wistancia?
Thank you, Alan. That was 3 Incredibles, by the way.
Well, I didn't do exciting. I stayed off exciting this show. I went to incredible. I always pick one word a show and just use it to death, so today could be incredible. But I hope it is an incredible show for number 4.
Right.
Wistancia?
Okay. So maybe you can join with me as we open to the power of invocation, as we open to the power of the love within our own hearts. And as we call forth to the angels now, asking that this studio and your homes and wherever you are listening to this, that you be overlit now by the archangels and by all the legions of angels that work with each of the archangels. We call now to Archangel Uriel, who is in charge of all of our guardian angels. And we ask that tonight, that our guardian angels stand behind each one of us. Maybe you will feel this as just a warmth, as a sweetness. Maybe you won't really feel it. Maybe you can just know it somehow in your hearts. But we call forth to our guardian angels, that great shining one who has been with us through all of our lifetimes, and ask for the presence to permeate this room, to permeate our hearts and to open us. And we ask for the protection now of Archangel Michael, too, to swirl through this room, the protection, and asking him to ignite our faith this night. And we also call forth to the ascended ones, the ascended masters from the ascended realms, asking that they somehow bring to us their radiance and bring to us their teachings so that we can aspire to become what we are truly here to become, and that is Christed beings living on the earth. And we call forth now to all those higher aspects of ourselves, the Christed self, the future self, the already ascended self, and that part of us that has never left source, asking that the blueprint, the divine blueprint of that part of ourselves come now and merge with the physical personality self that sits here, so that we can become a whole being, utilizing all the aspects of our great selves so that we can see who and what we are. We ask somehow that our body Deva stand with us also tonight so that we can come into radiance within our physical body. We ask for the remembrance, for the memories to come flooding in of our grander self. We ask for self-love this night. We ask to see ourselves reflected in the eyes of our brothers and sisters, knowing that we are children of the one God. And we ask to know somehow in this time that I and the Father are one, that I and the Mother are one, that we are the children, sons and daughters of the one. And we ask to know this, to be this, and to aspire and grow into our higher evolved selves with the help of the angels, with the help of the masters, knowing that actually we too are masters, asking that our self-mastery awaken now, calling forth for a great awakening within each of us, calling for an opening of the heart, calling for the calmness, the serenity, the love and the beauty and the creative expression, all that lies within us and is sometimes dormant, asking that our emotions come out and that we start to feel like never before the beauty that surrounds us and the beauty that is within us. And so maybe we can just tune in now to our hearts and to our bodies and to the energy field around where we are sitting, that is our great energy field. Somehow just getting in touch with our greater selves sitting here, asking to sit in our higher selves. As we send our light down into the earth, connecting with Mother, connecting all the way into the core of the earth, and we send our light up into the heavens, into our higher selves. And we send our light around us, connecting with the brotherhoods and sisterhoods of light, so that we have a circle, connecting heart to heart with each other and soul to soul, connecting up and down and all around. Just go inside now, if you will. Close your eyes with me and just connect now to the heart, asking that the mind follow the heart this night, asking for the open heart. Thank you. It feels so much different in here now. It feels so much quieter. It's kind of hectic in the studio when we're setting up. And when I started, I said, let's open to the power of invocation. I just want to say that invoking, calling upon those great parts of ourselves and those great helpers and those who assist us in the higher realms absolutely changes the way we feel, changes the way our world is. It's so necessary now. And we're actually living in what's called under the influence of the seventh ray, which is the ray of invocation, ascension, and transformation. So these are great times. And I hope the hour hasn't already gone by.
Yeah, the show's over. But
thanks for coming.
it was a very nice show, and we'll be on tomorrow night. No, that's not so. We have a lot of show left. Don't change your dial now.
Let's open up to the music.
Okay, so now we have Tanya and Rob in Inlakesh, and really, this is really some powerful music. It's really primal. So if we're ready for Inlakesh.
These instruments are like 40,000 or more years old.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. So when we're ready,
welcome to the dreaming gate, the fabric of consciousness. Welcome to the dream. We, the weavers of web, spin the threads of the interwoven fabric of life. And we, the wearers of the mask, wear the mask of intent. With the understanding of timelessness and the knowledge of the impersonal view, we will reshape
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful.
That was amazing.
That is
It's just
really primal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I really love that. Wow. Thank you so much. So anyway, I'm sitting here. We are sitting here. I always say I'm sitting here, and we're all sitting here. We're sitting here with Sue Halstenberg, and she is just an amazing angel artist, among other kinds of artists. She does a lot of different things, and we're gonna see a lot of her art tonight. But
You might be able to see him. I don't know how, but I mean, some of her art is just all around us.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by Halstenbergs.
But we'll be zooming in. We'll be zooming in on several of them later. One thing I wanted to say to you before I go too far is that I used to work in town in the psychic fair, doing angel writings, and the angels would speak to me, and I would write messages for people. And I used to set my little table up, and I did this week after week after week. Actually, it was once a month after month after month. And I had this picture of an angel in a blue dress, and she had red hair. And I picked it because I have red hair, and I just liked the picture. And it was one of your pictures, but I didn't know it. It was the blue angel, and I'd have it on my little table every single month. And then people would come over, and they thought that I had sat for the picture. You know, they thought that, and they would say, "Oh, a picture of you."
Yeah.
I mean, I always said, "Oh, no way." You know, and then after a while, I started saying yes because everybody was saying that. And actually,
I can see it, sure.
but that was your picture, and I didn't even know you then. Actually, we saw you in a newspaper article. I think it was in the Ojai Valley Sun after that, and then Alan actually, you sent Alan some pictures, and there was that picture, and he said, "This is that picture that you love so much."
Well, what a
And I was
coincidence.
Like, yeah, it is.
So you've been painting like a long time and doing art and all that, huh?
Yeah, well, I went to art school, went to Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, and graduated, studied illustration, and went to work for the department stores, the Broadway, Robinsons and the May Company, and I was drawing. I brought some of my.
This is really
This is
sort
a
of
funny thing. This
interesting.
is interesting.
Yeah, well, this was it. You know, I don't know if this
This
shows.
is what she did for
but
7 years.
7
She was
or
doing
8
bra
years.
ads, and everybody said they looked like butterflies, and that started.
Well, this one layout artist came up to me and she said, your bra drawings look like butterflies, and I just see them flying off the page. And I thought, whoa.
And the Broadways actually
I
they wanted them flying out the store.
Yeah, well, that was the
That
main
was-
thing,
right.
you know, to get them moving. So,
But as a child, you used to draw?
yeah, I was. I mean, in school, I did well. I was one of those real workaholic, all A's type kids. So I worried a lot.
And when did you
And-
realize that you really had a talent?
Well, I did well. I mean, I got awards all the way along, and it was hard to get into art school. It was real competitive, another real workaholic thing. And then I continued into doing the advertising because they'd
Yeah.
say, here, do it overnight.
Right.
Right.
And I'd have to get it in the next day, and a lot of pressure. But I started to kind of burn out on that
Bras.
pressure, and just black and white. I wanted to work in color.
Right.
Right.
And I went to Arizona and took a class with George Carlson, who's a really good teacher, good sculptor, and good with pastels. And I went and did a painting that got a lot of awards, actually. It was
Oh, that's
of my,
fantastic.
this was the first pastel I did, is of my mother
Oh, yeah.
in our,
Yeah.
this was my yard in San Gabriel, and it was called Waiting, and actually waiting for her reward, and she passed away.
That was the first one you
She
did
passed
after?
away like right after. that.
Really?
Right after
So,
you did the painting?
Yeah,
Wow.
within a few months. So I'm glad, you know,
Right.
I did it.
Right.
That was
Beautiful.
the first.
And that was the first
first one.
pastel you did.
Yeah, first one I finished. I had started a few
Right.
and thrown them away, but
That's pretty amazing for a first shot.
yeah, I got first
From
place.
a bra. Yeah.
yeah,
Right
from
from
a
the
bra.
bras.
Well, it got first place up at the one of the pastel societies, the Pastel Society of the West Coast. It got first place genre at their show, and I entered it in some others, and it did pretty well. Then, as part of being in the pastel societies, they had a pastel issue of American Artist, and they chose my piece for the cover.
Wow. Oh, this is, why don't you show the
And
big
this
one?
is this is
Yeah,
a better
show the big
better
one, yeah.
copy of it. This is called Victorian. So people say, "Well, how do you know so much about lace?" Well,
And you did that with pastels.
yeah,
Wow.
you know, the lace
That's
is
so
from
beautiful.
drawing all the underwear for years. And the form, though, the light and the form, though, was from taking George Carlson's class. And
But you, I mean, you just had a feel for it. I mean, I could study his class from now till doomsday and do bras, but it still would come out.
well, mileage helps, though. I
Yeah,
had
right.
a lot of mileage
Right.
doing that under
Right.
the pressure of doing all that advertising art. So.
See, every little thing that you learn comes in handy sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
a good
absolutely.
lesson about
Yeah,
just
it's-
be patient and
It,
keep
it
going.
added up, but
That is so beautiful. I mean, those are the kind of clothes that I like to wear. I
Yeah, actually,
always
it's surprising she usually wears
I usually
outfits
wear
like that.
Victorian clothes.
well,
I mean, she's tremendously contemporary tonight. I don't know if everybody has seen it.
Actually, I'm wearing a fairy dress, so
Well,
how
compared to the
contemporary is
rest
that?
of your stuff, this is not. Everything's relative, as we talked earlier.
well, it's funny though. With this painting, I learned that people see artwork. Everybody saw it as a painting
Well,
of
I've seen it
a
for a long time.
Victorian. Everybody sees it
Right.
as a Victorian lady. I saw it as an artist, as light hitting a form.
Uh-huh.
That's
Right.
what I found interesting. So the galleries would say, "Oh, this is great. Do another one like this." So I'd do another light hitting the form, and they'd say, "No, no, 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 no,
no.
We want
a
this, a
Victorian lady."
Victorian lady."
Right.
They didn't
Right.
really care about the light.
Right.
So I got kind of in a long rut of doing Victorian ladies over
Uh-huh.
and over. So, and then out of that kind of painting myself in a corner came the more metaphysical pieces.
How did that come
Yeah,
about?
where did the angels come in?
Well,
Or
I
when
was
did the
I
angels come in?
I was actually in the hospital and depressed, and
Because you're. No,
well,
not because you were painting
part
the-
of it, part of
Right.
it that because I wasn't expressing
Expressing, right.
who I really
Yourself.
was,
Right.
you know. So, like you said, the blue angel. It was as if she came into me almost and said, "We're here. We're going to protect you. Make sure you don't hurt yourself." And so,
you-
when I got out, and I
Did you have a vision of that? Did
It
you
was it was almost like looking in the mirror and seeing this other being kind of there.
So you knew what you were going to paint even before you started?
Yeah, so when I wasn't sedated anymore, then that's the first thing I
Right.
painted was the Blue
Right.
Angel. That was
Wow.
the first piece I did.
Oh,
That's amazing.
and I love that one. It's one of my favorites.
Well, she's kind of glamorous, you know. I've had people criticize it. They say, "Oh, she's too pretty. Why don't you paint someone who's just regular?"
Right.
But I get, maybe it's from the advertising, doing pretty faces all the time. I enjoy doing a real pretty face, and I do enjoy doing portraits too, where it looks like a specific person. So there's beauty in both.
Right. Yeah,
I'm
but
glad
you've
that she
moved
was
on
there
to
to
other-
help you and to
Yeah,
assist
yeah.
you.
Yeah, you've done, I mean, we did the flyer that we put out all around town this week to advertise the show. We did, I think, the cat picture, is that?
Oh, the yin
yeah, is
yang
that
kitty
the yin yang kitty?
Do we have that one here?
It's over here.
All right, well, we'll get it. They'll bring it up. Yeah, why don't you tell us a little about that one? That's pretty recent?
Yeah, that's the newest one. And,
That's the latest one.
I'm just having a
We set
green-
all this stuff to go in chronological order, and then we get on the set, and it's like
Well,
boom, bang.
Yeah, the
okay.
chronological
Yeah, right.
order, the last one I
right,
did.
right.
Yeah, I'm having cards made of him right now.
Oh, yeah?
Here in Santa Barbara.
So you have a whole line of cards with a lot of these images and
Yeah, most of them are cards, and it's a good way to get them out to the public.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy it, knowing that a lot of people can enjoy them.
all. And the next one, the
Oh, you're on the mermaids.
The mermaid
yeah,
one.
well, the mermaids are, it's funny because I do the paintings and I analyze them later. So I've been trying to do research.
Uh-huh.
Why did I do these three mermaids, and what does it mean,
Right.
you know? And they're kind of half human, so they're half in this world, but they're half in another realm.
right.
Just
So
like us.
kind of, yeah,
Just
half
like we are.
half spiritual and half human, and they're calling. And
They're
there's the
bridging.
kitty.
There's the kitty coming on.
Kitty. Yeah,
I love
I
that.
had
I
someone.
love that
I
cat.
had someone look at this, and as she was talking to me, she said, "Oh, he has a yin yang face." She
Right.
said, "I love the cat."
Right, isn't that amazing?
And
Angel cat.
had someone ask me if my cat has a face like that. I said, I have one now that has a face like that. Yeah.
Right,
You painted
Since
it,
I
didn't
painted
you?
it, yeah.
right. Yeah, that's the one
But,
we used for the flyer. We thought
Yeah,
it was so
he's
extraordinary.
real balanced
Right.
and very content, and has this good like goldfish in his crystal ball. Or is he going to
love
play
it.
with that? I don't know. He might play with the ball, or he might
Right.
gaze into it.
So, do you still get like almost whole images that, I mean, we've had a lot of artists on the show, and some, get a feel for like one thing and then move to do the rest. Some get almost like the whole thing, or...
Well, it varies. A lot of times things happen as I'm working. Like with the mermaids, the shells will happen, that they're playing something. With the, all of them, different things happen. The lady with the sword, I could talk about what happened with...
Why don't you talk about
Okay, I'll talk about Merlin then.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's an amazing one.
Merlin starts out where he's in this realm
Uh-huh.
of Earth, and through his meditating or reflection here, that's down below, you start to see all the cosmos.
Yeah, there
So
we go.
the-
Oh, so we
a
get to
lot of
reflect.
people-
So you have a lot of the bridging heaven and earth
Yes,
feel in your...
that's what this piece is
Right.
about.
Perfect.
A lot of people want it to go the other way. They, want to put it with the exciting stuff happening up on top.
Actually, that's how I said it.
Yeah, that's right. When you set it up, because set it up upside down, which
Being
is
a
true.
great
I
art,
mean,
an
no,
art
I
person
mean,
myself.
it all reflects back and
Right,
forth and
right.
gets all mixed up.
Right, right.
So, but to my way of thinking, it kind of starts out with the things happening on Earth. And
You mean you had the
things-
moon at the
I
bottom?
had
Yeah,
the moon
he
in
had
the
it
water. I had the
upside
moon in
down.
the water. I had the stars in the sky.
That sounds like a song you want to
Yeah,
sing.
no. Last season I sang and I broke 3 cameras, and people know it was a very bad scene. But so
I
I'm not going to
love
do it
that.
again. But
So you really like blue, don't you? It's like
I
the blue
do a
angel.
lot
You
of
really do so
blue
much blue in your
with
work.
the blue shine.
Well, it's
through,
heavenly.
yeah.
That's why. It's beautiful. It's
So-
so beautiful. Yeah.
oh, why don't you talk about this one?
Okay.
Oh, there she
now
is.
this one was kind of a transition piece, so you can see she's still wearing a Victorian dress, and she has lace wings that match her Victorian dress, and she's...
Nobody can do lace like you can do lace.
But I
That's
was coming out
incredible.
of a period where she's kneeling there praying with a candle. So it was really for my own emotional healing, this piece. So just, this piece was like just turning it over to the angels, saying, you know, whatever, angel prayer, because I don't have one. The title is Angel Prayer.
I mean, explain the difference between the different mediums. It would seem that pastels, it would be hard to get that kind of definition, just the nature of the instrument. But is that, it obviously
Is
isn't
this
the
pastels?
case. These are pastels
That's
originally.
a copy.
Right, but there
yeah,
was originally
it's done with a charcoal drawing underneath to set the values, if you want to get into that kind of artist talk, setting the value pattern. And then the pastels are layered on
That's
top.
the way Arthur does it.
Yeah. So you can really get a lot of detail, letting the pencil detail show through.
Oh, I see. So then you're like layering it kind of, but the pencil's
so there is
showing through.
a layer of color. And I start with gray paper too, or blue, like you were mentioning. I went through
You're
blue.
even wearing blue.
Yeah, I went through a blue period there.
Like Picasso at
Yeah.
the Prado.
Yeah.
How wonderful. So do you call on the angels before you work? I mean, do you work
I have to
consciously with them?
I have to get in a meditative state to work. I have to get kind of isolated. I have to get real quiet and let it come through. So yeah, asking for help always helps.
Yeah.
So you just try to get really quiet and clear, and then let the image kind of work through you.
Yeah.
Definitely works.
This piece here, I don't know if you can get to it. Heart of Creation. Now that one, the original was an acrylic. A little bit different medium. I was waiting for my model to show up, and she didn't show up, so I decided just to do it without her.
Right.
Which was a big jump for me, because I've always been real dependent on having models in front of me. So she was pretty much out of my head, and really creating our own universe is kind of the theme of this one, and it's through her heart. And
tell the story about
the eyes.
This one, the eyes,
It was hanging at a store in Arcadia, and the owner called up and said, "Hey, guess what? The eye's open when you get across the room." And I said, "Oh yeah, sure." So I went over, and they had noticed that once you get about 20 feet away, that it looks like the eye's open. So I didn't plan it, but it seems to be there. So that's kind of neat. Yeah. So it works if you get the right distance with the prints.
Should we put the camera on it and like?
Well, yeah, pull back a little bit. You have to
open our eyes.
Live
on TV.
You have to pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't be too close to it.
It's pretty amazing. You shouldn't even be surprised about magic anymore.
I know.
All the magical paintings that you put out.
Do you get a lot of like people calling you or responding and like just that the power of it and all?
I get the most calls I get is the one we haven't shown yet. There's a little girl in a Victorian dress who's grown wings.
Wings, right.
And I get calls from all over the country. Everybody thinks that she looks like
somebody they know.
Somebody, right? Or they look like they did when they were a child. And I hear that with almost everybody who I hear it from all the stores who carry it, and it's people I think read into it.
Yeah, it's like the inner child coming out, absolutely. So you have a studio in Ojai?
Yeah,
and you
living in
spend
Ojai
your days.
Did you move up from LA? Were you in LA when you were doing?
Yeah, I lived in San Gabriel, kind of the middle of the smog, and really, Ojai is a much better vibration for me.
I lived in Ojai, I told you, for a year and a half. I really liked it a lot. It's a little quiet. I mean, it's to say you could watch the hubcaps rust there. You go to your big city.
Yeah, well, I
unless
need
you're busy
that
doing
kind of isolation.
I was writing at the time when it was very quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, I need that, and it's been really good for me.
How long have you been there?
2 years now.
And do you have any plans to do more animal paintings?
Well, I started one of my Dalmatian that had passed away, and so his spots have become hearts, of course, and it's, yeah, in the works. The stores had told me if I was going to do a cat, I might have to do a dog, you know, give equal time.
Right.
Absolutely.
For-
Well,
yeah,
so the
for
dog
the
and the kitty
dogs.
were friends? Were they? Were they?
Why don't you talk about the painting with the sword? I think we're going to show that at this point.
Yeah, well, Lady of the Lake,
Oh,
people
she's beautiful.
who do tarot cards like this one a lot because they feel
This is
she's
one of
a
my
lot-
favorites, yeah.
A lot like a Queen of Swords.
Uh-huh.
But the unusual thing when I painted this one, if you can go on down to the bottom, is the sword reflected a heart, and the pattern in her dress is little swords, as you can see in the lace.
Uh-huh.
And as I was drawing it, as it got down into the water there, they reflected as hearts. And so kind of in the emotion of the water, the intellect of the air and the sword, you know, symbology got changed, transformed into the emotional.
Wow.
So it's kind of a surprise when you know, it's a surprise. I didn't plan it. And
That's one of my favorites. I really like that one a lot. I like that. There's something about that one that just really knocks me out.
she's real direct too.
Yes, right
A
on.
lot of the Victorian ladies were kind of hiding behind the hats, and she's staring out, which is a little bit different.
Okay, why don't you talk about the one with the horn?
That's a recent piece, and that's acrylic, which is a little bit different again. It's not so much to do with form from an artist's point of view, but more the symbol of the angel being the tree, kind of coming through the nature element of it, where she's one with the tree, where the tree is her, you know, and she's calling, the hearts are coming out of the horn, and so she's calling to get back attuned to that nature.
So again,
And
like the bridging of...
Yeah, the bridging of heaven and earth.
You know, there is an angel, you know, in every home and in every tree and everything.
Every
Every
rock.
hospital has an angel. I mean, some people don't know this, but I mean, maybe we can't see them, but if you just ask to become more aware of them, you'll feel something. You know, I go outside at night, and you know, that looks like some of the things I see out there when I actually want to look. When I go, oh, I want to see what's out here, then I'll see the light within the tree.
Right.
It's so amazing. So, what do we
Do we want to see this
see
one in
more
front?
before we?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
let's see that
Solar
one.
eclipse.
This is a more recent one too, isn't it? The solar eclipse one?
Yeah, it's maybe a couple years old, but it's kind of like the yin-yang cat. It's kind of dealing with the balance, and of course the sun and the moon eclipsing. And he's spinning one way and yin, and she's spinning yang, or whichever is which. And you know, in a way, it's coming together, the male and female. You know, it could be a romantic piece, or it could be
Right.
this pieces of yourself in balance.
All right, I think maybe why don't we try to get... are we prepared to do the next song? Are you guys prepared? Inlakesh? All right, so maybe when we're ready, we'll do that, and then we'll set up some more pictures for you, and we're really looking forward to that. So, I mean, there are a lot more here, so we'll get to see a lot more, but
Do they have a concert coming up?
I think there is, Inlakesh has a concert in LA tomorrow. And if anybody wants information on cards of Susan, or of concerts or tapes and CDs of Inlakesh, please call. The number you could reach us at is 805-687-2053, and we'll pass the information on to you about how to get cards and how to get the CDs. And so, we'd be happy to do that, because I'm sure that a lot of people would like to see some of the cards and get some of the cards and get some of the CDs. So I guess when we're ready, let's hear another song. Okay, so take her away. Thank you.
still there. I was wondering, could you just tell us where your concert is tomorrow night?
Well, actually, you're giving out the wrong information. We don't have a concert. We're doing at the Whole Life Expo, which is in town right now. We're selling didjeridoos and we're selling CDs and cassettes, but we're not actually having a concert. Though,
Okay.
if you
Mini concerts.
take us around the corner, we'll definitely play you a song.
I want to tell you that those instruments are so amazing. They're just amazing. Could you just quickly say what they're called? What they're called?
Sure,
You know, for people.
It's called a didgeridoo. That's the common name for it, and it's got many, many different Aboriginal names. One of them is called Yidaki. If you're up in Arnhem Land, it's called Bambu Ilam Bimbig Mambo. And didgeridoo is a name actually that came in 1932 from a ethnomusicologist, and it came from.
Sounds like it.
It's used for ceremonies, Dreamtime ceremonies. It's also used for storytelling, and it's also a way that in the song and dance that the older people can pass on information on the land, like to kids, like how to find water, how to find food. So they learn these songs, and then when they're older and they go on walks through the bush, they can be by themselves, and all they have to do is sing the songs, and they know where the water hole is in relation to.
It's amazing. Well, we'll have to have you back to actually talk, sort of educate us about all of that, because it's amazing, and it doesn't look easy either. It looks like you guys are really working. Absolutely.
It's kind of it's easier than you think, and it's harder than it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always the way things are.
Okay, thank you
Yeah,
so
thanks
much.
Yeah, that was
Really.
incredible. So now we're back and we have some more of Susan's pictures, so that should be exciting. So maybe the next one we'll get is the one that we talked about earlier, the little girl that everyone recognizes with the angels.
That's this one over here.
Yeah, why don't you just talk about
The
it
inner
again?
Victorian
Yeah, so this is
child.
the one.
Well, she actually was a portrait. I did a sketch, and I had her, showed her to a lot of people, and they liked it, but it looked like somebody else's kid,
Right.
and there wasn't really much interest in it. And I kept walking by thinking, gosh, she looks like a little angel. She's so sweet. She has such a sweet look on her face.
Right.
So one day I just added wings to her. And then
That was
all
the
of a
whole
sudden,
thing.
my gosh, everybody loves her. Everybody can relate to her now.
Isn't
oh,
that
she's
amazing?
not, specific
Right.
little girl yet.
Right.
Then people see her, read into it, and they see a specific. Oh, my niece. She looks
Right.
just like my niece, just like my daughter, and it's really amazing. I think it's the sweetness, though, that's
the
coming through
gentleness
that they
right.
they see. As someone who they love, one of their loved ones.
And all these are available as cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are they around in all the stores and everything?
Yeah, Paradise Found here in Santa Barbara.
I don't think you're supposed to mention
I'm
names,
sorry.
but yeah, well, people
sure
are
they
called,
would.
but I mean, they're in almost all the those kind of stores, the
Yeah.
like New Age kind of stores.
Right.
Can people
carry-
get prints as well, like
And
posters?
posters
Yeah.
They're available too?
laser, prints that are matted.
Yeah, just call us. Call
Yeah.
that number if you're interested.
Yeah, 687-2053.
Gorgeous.
Okay, now the one above that, the more in blue, as Wisty said.
Yeah, another blue piece, Crystal Dream. She started as a piece, a friend of mine was having a birthday, and she was a Virgo.
Uh-huh.
And this piece started with her eyes open, and she was going to be kind of a Virgo bride piece. And as I went along drawing it, she ended up inside of a crystal. And after she ended up inside of the crystal, she got an aura going around.
Uh-huh.
And her eyes shut. As
Right.
her eyes need to be closed. So she's kind of in that.
What is the name of that one?
Crystal Dream.
Crystal Dream. That's
She's
fantastic.
kind of in a suspended animation state or
Right.
meditative state,
Beautiful.
and her heart has some detail around it. So
Do you have shows around with the originals and all? Have you done that yet?
yeah, I
Yeah?
have.
And would you
Would
like
you
to
like
do
to
more
hear
of
the
them?
stories? No. I'm not supposed to mention the stores, but yeah.
At
sure.
galleries in different
Yeah.
places. Huh? So where do you see yourself going? Do you see yourself, like doing more of the like inspirational?
Yeah.
Any books or anything coming out?
No books right now, but the more greeting cards. I'm doing 10 new ones, and I intend to do 10 more, and really get them out that way. I've had pretty good success with the greeting cards, so they're around. They're in New Zealand and in
Really?
Australia and Canada and across the U.S. So it's fun to expand that way, and everybody can afford them too. So.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Do we have any more that are out? Or is
Well, the butterfly lady was back there,
that, oh,
Well, maybe what we can do is maybe set some up over here, and then we'll
butterfly
talk
lady.
about it. So, actually, I wanted to say to everybody that we're really excited. The show's on in New York now. Not this particular show. This show will be on like in 2 and 3 months in New York, but it's on in New York. It's on in Washington D.C. It's on in Camarillo,
Florida,
Thousand Oaks.
right?
Now, Florida, actually, we couldn't work it out. My parents, who live in Florida, were trying to get it on, but they couldn't get it on because that particular public access station doesn't do shows like this. They don't have that. But it's on in Thousand Oaks and Camarillo, and I guess a lot of people who are watching the
Ojai.
show,
Ojai.
it's on
Yeah.
the Ojai
Nice,
channel.
yeah.
Channel 8 on Monday nights, every Monday night, are one of the shows, and they're, I think, doing them pretty much in order. So this is show 21. So I think they're showing the shows between 7 and 10, which, some of the really, those were the beginning shows where we had a lot of interesting stuff on those. So, and we're getting a lot of response from people calling from all over.
It's actually,
it's
last month they were on how many places? Like 20 hours or something?
Last month they were on, I think, over 20 hours in different places.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this message and
these
this
angels will be
vibration.
seen all over the
yeah, so
place.
we're really excited about that. And actually, if anybody's seeing it in places and they want to get on, actually, the camera person, who if people have been watching the show pretty consistently, Richard Lindsay, Joe left, he is trying to get it on up in Seattle, Washington.
Great.
So, we're really excited about that. And so...
I love to bring all this beautiful inspiration to as many people as possible. I mean, it's one of the reasons for the show is just to really open the heart, of everybody
yeah.
and bridge heaven and earth within us. And these kinds of like music or art.
Well,
and
that's
all this
the way,
It does
yeah.
it. It does it.
I
Picture
listen-
says 1,000 words.
I listen to music when I'm working. It really helps.
What do you listen to?
Oh, everything really. I mean, when I first started doing the New Age stuff, I was listening to a Hearts of Space kind of sampler. So I was getting like
Right,
everybody
all
all at
different.
once.
Right,
I was
right.
listening to Enya, kind of helped
Right.
my opening along. So
Well, maybe you'll be listening to didgeridoo music
Yeah,
in honor of
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah,
That's
that's pretty
great.
incredible.
so they have the
Yeah, why don't you talk
Butterfly
about
lady
this one, the
out.
butterfly lady? This could be, is this our first nude?
I have, well, let's see.
Oh
Was
my
she
God,
the
I don't know.
first? She probably was the first of the out of art school. Of course, in art school you do nudes
Right.
until you're sick of them, But she is kind of coming out,
She's the butterfly. Right.
got her
Here it comes, yeah.
little, coming out of almost a phoenix coming up out of the ashes. She's got the energy from the fire of the flame, and the candle color is a very Scorpio or transformation kind of color, and her whole hair is flying up like the flame, and she's really free, really been exploding out.
That's powerful. I like that. And it's blue too.
There is a
It's
lot of blue in it.
It's blue is coming through. It
You
was
probably
done on-
work with Archangel Michael. Because he's on the
Possibly, yeah.
Blu-ray.
It was done on blue paper, and so the oranges are really popping off of the page with that blue underneath. And I had people call who had bought the greeting cards and said, oh, they really felt the Christ energy.
No kidding.
And I looked at it, I thought, well, she's kind of in that position. If you take her wings away, she's kind of like she's
The
on
Garden of Eden.
Well, you know, when you said that,
Hello.
when you said that, the first thing I thought
What got
of
Christ in
was the
trouble?
emergence, like we're, you know what I mean, like our lower self or our personality self is like the caterpillar and the Christ self
Right.
is the butterfly.
But
That's
it's
the whole
funny because
thing.
I showed her the whole life show, and the guys with the like devils around their necks came around, and that was their favorite piece too. So you know,
Wow.
you got
Yeah, got everything.
Really?
everybody. You know, so again, people read into it, and so that's great because I want whatever you see in it
Right.
to
Right.
happen. You know.
Right. As long as it's touching.
Yeah,
that
as long
inner-
as you see something in it, you know.
Right, and
if
then
you're
I think we
attracted
have
to it.
set up this other one. The
Oh, one of the Victorian ladies.
yeah, this is. Look at that! Wow, look at the detail. I think we're starting out in a close-up, so you can really see the detail. It's really amazing.
This was a piece I painted in 1990, and it was kind of, for me, a dream piece of where I wanted to go and what I wanted things to be like. I wasn't happy, and for me it was
Right.
like just trying to put into this painting, you know, my dreams, the kind of the passion of the red roses. I hung it, when I moved to Ojai, I hung it up on the wall, and I looked out the window, and there were the same mountains.
Right,
Out
the
my
Ojai
window,
Mountains,
yeah.
Right.
And recently, I had taken it out of the frame. I started adding a rainbow. And yesterday, I looked out the window and there was a rainbow starting from there. So I thought, well, I guess I am in the right place.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And plus, you're getting psychic and reading the future. It's like one of those movies where someone paints a picture and it happens.
You're changing the whole atmosphere around you.
Right. That's pretty
Yeah.
incredible.
So wonderful. That is so beautiful. Wow.
So yeah, it's
But you don't really do the Victorian pictures as much as you did before.
oh,
They're-
not at all. Yeah.
They're basically like your blue period or your back period
well,
or something.
it just got to, not that I don't still enjoy the Victorian
Right.
lace and the detail and the beauty of it, but for me it was more of a security phase where I was attracted to antiques and old things and kind of the security of it, but really I needed to be more like the butterfly lady, you know,
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
come out
exploding
and-
with all the
yeah,
flame.
just come out, you
It's
know.
amazing that our hour is like flying by and we're just about out of here. I just wanted to thank you
Oh,
for
well,
coming and
gee,
sharing all.
thank
And I want
you.
you to know that you bear an angel's wing and you really have that glow and that beauty and that just purity that I see in your pictures. It's like, you know, look at you.
I can see
Just
the blue
shining.
angel here.
So I just really, it was beautiful having you here.
Oh, thank you.
And tonight was great with the musicians, all that incredible, wondrous sound and wondrous art. So
Yeah, it was sublime in a way. It was really like,
really,
you know, we all had the, you know, the power of the instruments and the beauty of all these pictures. It was just,
so I want to
So-
thank everybody for watching.
yeah. And
and
next
just-
week, isn't Julianne coming on next week?
Julianne Everett's going to be back. She's an incredible Ascension teacher. She's just an
She was on
incredible woman.
last season.
Yeah, she ended up doing a workshop here, and a lot of people came and asked for her to come back. And she's going to come with a musician from Mount Shasta that's also just amazing. He has a huge heart. And another musician another singer, so it's going to be a big show. God bless all of you. Be well, be happy, and be in your hearts.
Good night.